Welcome to the Muxall Open IoT channel. I am your host, Michael Crane. Before we dive into the innards, I don't want to waste a lot of time with the handles and the thermometer and all that stuff. I think most people kind of figure all that stuff out. So, just kind of go over it briefly. The handles probably go something like that, I'm guessing, right? And both sides, of course. Sorry, this phone zooms in. Whoop, they're on a bolt. Anyway, it zooms in way too much. I'm not sure. It doesn't take photographs like that. But anyway, I digress. And anyway, yeah, we'll pop the thermometer in here. Get the handles on. I guess this was some kind of logo that they took off, and they didn't even bother to send me anything, not even a couple obligatory screws. Anyway, the bucket goes down here, in case I'm sure everyone knows that. And that's about it. I'm very curious about this. Oh, by the way, it's the next day. And yeah, I'm very curious about this setup here. So I want to look at that, and yeah, the rest of the stuff, grills and grates and all this other shelves and stuff, doesn't really mean anything. Yeah, but I want to get to the guts of this thing. So anyway, I'm going to put this thing together. I'm not going to bother videoing it. I'll be back in a few, and we'll start looking at the insides. Okay, so I went ahead and put all the handles on and everything. And sorry, I was vacuuming out the inside. I put the handles on, put some screws in there and the blank holes. Put the thermometer on, the other handle on. And like I said, I vacuumed it out. And because it had styrofoam, some other garbage in there. And anyway, yeah, so I got my drop light out here. I was wanting to take a look at this thing, and yeah, so it's pretty interesting. So there's the auger. Oh, sorry, you probably can't see that. So there's the auger tube. There's the igniter. And it's got this little deflector thing on it. It's interesting. I'm curious to see if that actually works. Like I said, I honestly thought it was going to have just a regular burn pot in it, like in a Traeger. But yeah, it's got this thing in there. I don't know what to make of it, actually. So yeah, I know someone's also been doing some welding in there. That's a fresh weld right there. So I don't know what this thing was. Maybe it was a factory defect or something. They found some sucker on the internet to buy. Anyway, I'm sure it's just a sample. I'm just kidding. Yeah. Oh, there's that clean out. I guess use that to clean out the dust. I don't understand what that's for. Maybe it lets more air in to get a better burn. I really don't know. That's a really good point. Where does the air come in at? Maybe on the sides? The sides right here? Huh. Yeah, so I'm guessing the air from the fan blows in here. And we might as well get this thing here. I'm guessing this is the burn pot. And I think that goes over. I'll try to do this while recording it. Let's see. That set in there pretty easy. As soon as I got my light out of the way, that light was kind of getting in my way there. So yeah, this thing just kind of now that I'm trying to show you, yeah, so you just pop it out, kind of just slide it back underneath. that just kind of sits there. So, yeah, not even a screw. I mean, it is pretty heavy. I guess it's not going to blow out. I don't know. That's quite interesting. So it kind of has the slide method. So the pellets come in. Oops, sorry, you probably can't see, can you? Let me get the. There you go. I'd move the light a little bit. The pellets come in. The auger tube there. It's not very tight. Hits this little ramp. Falls down and into that where it lands on the igniter. Okay, should work. Screwdriver out and tighten this guy up a little bit. I was looking at this thing. That's some kind of heat diverter there. I guess so it doesn't go up inside there. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, we'll have to give this thing a shot. So, yeah, oh, before we get out of there, let's go ahead and we'll finish up inside here. The other piece of this is going to be this plate right here. And if any of you guys have ever had a gas grill, you're familiar with these things. This is to kind of distribute the flame across the grill. I don't know if I'm going to be able to set this in here with one hand. And not drop it on something, so I'll be right back. It goes in there like that, and yeah, I just set it in there. I wasn't sure how it went in there, if it was gonna fall. I didn't want it to hit that igniter and bust it. I don't know what kind of igniter it is. I'm guessing it's just a standard type of igniter, but so far, oh, I was gonna tighten these screws up too. Anyway, so far nothing in this has been what I expected. But anyway, yeah, so this thing here just takes the flame that shoots out, you know, pretty much straight up and kind of spreads it out to share the love, share the flame love. Anyway, what I was going to get to earlier, yeah, I'd like to pull the curtain back on this thing and see what's inside of it. Anyway, we'll do that. I wanted to have a play. I play with this controller. I see these things all the time on the internet. And I don't remember how much they are on the internet. I know they said if they didn't include it, they're just going to knock 25 bucks off. And I said, well, go ahead and add it. Hopefully we'll be able to use it, because like I said, I don't have a owner's manual, but there's so many of them on the internet. I'm sure I could find it. I mean, on the internet, I'm talking, I Googled pellet grill controller. This is like the 4th thing that popped up. So I guess they're pretty popular. So, okay, well, I need to put some pellets in it. I'm going to roll it outside. I wouldn't dare fire this thing up inside. And I'll be back. Okay, getting ready to plug this guy in. I figured I would do it live, if I can do it holding it. Anyway, I'm plugging it in. I'm sorry. It's hard for me to hold this phone and... See? Anyway, sorry I dropped you guys. So nothing smoked, and I'm not getting electrocuted. I'm guessing they tested it, and I'm just kind of half kidding. I expected this thing to be in a lot better shape than it is, so I'm kind of poking at these guys. All right, so how do you use this thing here? Let's see, power. Okay. Power. All right, it's in standby mode. I like that, added a little delay. The Muxol is kind of the same way. Smoke, high. We don't care about the Meat Probe. We really don't care about this thing. I wonder what the Meat Probe button does. It's only got one. Anyway, let's see if the auger button, I'll push it right. Yep. It works. The reason why I was curious, if you look down there, it looks like some pellets got wet in this thing and they had to dig them out of there. So, I think I'm gonna, get rid of all the pellets that are in this. So I'm gonna hold this button for a little bit. And, let's see, does it, Oh, it stays running when you let go. Excellent. I thought I was gonna have to keep holding it. Let's see inside. Nothing is coming out. Good, the igniter's not on. That's usually not a good way to test the igniter, by the way. But it's definitely the quickest. Yeah, I don't see anything coming out. Good, so they got all the old pellets out of it. I'm gonna let it run for a bit, just to make sure, then I'm just gonna put some 100% hickory in there, lumberjack. That should, then we'll run it up. I'm not gonna put any of the other, well, I don't know, when we run up the temperature, I might put some of the other parts in it just to burn off the oil. I went ahead and plugged in the meat probe. Yeah, it actually stays running. That's kind of nice. I like that feature. Meat probe. I have no earthly idea what that does. Doesn't seem to change the temperature any, unless they're both identical, which I would be shocked if that was the case. So, okay, I guess I'll just leave the auger running. It's still running. I'm gonna throw some pellets in it, and I'll be back. Yeah, as soon as and I'll let them feed too until they get falling into the end of the burn pot, and then we'll stop it and fire it up. Man, that was quick. I barely just got the pellets, and then I went and got the fire extinguisher, and I heard them dropping already. So how do we turn this thing off here? There we go. Well, that seems to work. Yeah, they're already off in there. Thumbs up on that. That's pretty good. That must be a that must be a 3-inch auger. I mean, that fed quick. Yeah, I bet you it is about 3 inches. Look how close it is, right? So, okay. Let's see here. I guess to turn it on, you, what does high do? Uh-oh, that doesn't sound good. Oh, I don't like that. I'm gonna turn that off. Oop, how do you turn it off? No, that doesn't do it. Oops, no, power. That was bizarre. I'm not familiar with these controllers. It sounds like it was pulsing the fan. Was the igniter getting warm? Oh yeah. Yeah, that baby was heating up. Maybe it's supposed to do that. I don't know. That was freaking me out. We'll try the normal way. We'll just turn the temperature up on it and see if it starts to fire up. Okay, I unplugged it, plugged it back in. Let's power this guy back up. All right. I don't want to try high again. I'm just gonna turn up standby smoke set point F180. Oh, I guess that's the temperature. Whoops. Let's just try 225. Yeah, see, it's pulsing that fan again. I guess that's just what it's gonna do. We'll set it for 225 though, and see what happens. Can you hear that? That is bizarre. Alrighty. Yeah, there's many pellets in there. This thing's gonna have it's gonna have all kinds of flame on. That's okay. Come on, oh, I'm starting to see a little smoke. Come on, baby. Oh, that's a auger making that noise. Wow. Is it pulsing the auger too? Uh-oh, you're starting to get some smoke now. Man, look at it. It's going to fill that burn pot up by the time the igniter does anything. Yeah, that's why those ceramic igniters are nice, right? Man, that just keeps on cranking those pellets out, doesn't it? No break or pause or duty cycle. It's just keep dumping them. Boy, I bet you this thing overshoots like crazy. Finally, we have some flame. Did you hear the fan change? That's wow. Well, won't be. I think I'm gonna let some of these pellets burn off before I close the lid, because that is a boatload of pellets. Holy moly. Alright, well, note to self, if you ever change pellets out on this, you don't have to feed pellets into it. It dumps plenty on startup. Yeah, so all that thing's burning some pellets off. I noticed, look at the smoke tube is or the smoke outlet is at the bottom there instead of closer to the top, like mine is in my trigger. That's kind of interesting. God almighty, look at all the pellets in there. Let me shut the door, maybe it'll stop dumping pellets in it. Jeez. Alright. Wow, I was already up to 121. The door's open. Man, this thing's gonna be hit 500 UI. So, it actually turned off at 208. I couldn't get my phone fast. And it's claiming like crazy, but listen to this weird noise. I have no idea what it's doing. Oh, I can't wait to. Well, I don't know. We'll see. I don't think it's an auger. That is super bizarre. Yeah, that sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie. I know if I open the lid, it's just gonna make it dump more pellets in there. Whoa, that door got hot. Oh, we got fire! We got fire! Look at that, it's dumping more pellets in there. That's 350 degrees. This thing's crazy. Anyway, I'm gonna let it see if it'll do at least drop down to 225. I'll be back. I went ahead and unplugged the thing because it was up at 400 degrees and climbing, and it sounded like it was still dumping pellets in it. And I'm like, what is this thing's problem? So I don't care if it runs it up real hot, but I want to put the metal plates and stuff in here to burn the oil off of it, because I don't want to waste a bunch of pellets, you know, messing around with this controller, because I really don't care about the controller. So anyway, I'm going to put all this stuff in here and let it run, and I'll check back in with you. Okay, that thing's still smoldering away. I went ahead and put the flame diverter in it. I don't know if you guys can see it. You can see it up under there. I showed it to you earlier. I also put this iron grate. This is actually iron. It's made for the grilling burgers and stuff on. And of course the drip pan, everyone's familiar with that, with normal pellet grills. Yeah, and I was kind of hoping, and I'm sure once you get the grates in here and everything, I was kind of hoping you could share you know, between them, like if you had a really big brisket, right? But yeah, I don't know about that. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and fire this thing back up. I guess I'll stick it on high, see what it does, and I'll check back in with you guys here in a minute. So I set this thing on 225 again, just out of morbid curiosity. And I wasn't going to record it because I didn't want to just beat you guys down with a controller that I'm never going to sell. But it's still making that strange noise. But it liked the me putting it all together. At least it's not just going crazy dumping a bunch of pellets in there. So I have the set point's at 225. So anyway, like I said, it looks like it's doing better, and I can already smell the oil burning off those grates. So I'll probably run it up here. I'm just curious to see if it's going to even get to 225, because before it was just going crazy, but maybe it didn't like having that flame shooting out of the of that burn pot, and maybe it was hitting the RTD or something. Who knows? All right, I'll be back. Well, I've been sitting here for about 10 minutes, and yeah, I'm kind of losing my patience with it. It's still climbing, and I can hear it still dropping pellets in there, and I'm sure they're doing that because they don't want the flame to go out. Oh, there it is. Now it's dropping. But I've seen this before. You can hear the pellets. I hear it. And I'm sure it's trying to idle the grill down, right? It's trying to make the grill, you know, not crash. In other words, flame out. I mean, at some point I'm like, okay, let's just turn the fan off. We'll overshoot. We'll burn all the junk out, and we'll start over again. Anyway, I'm just gonna set it on high to burn the oil off and call it a day. All right, I'll check back in. Man, so, excuse me, this thing got up to 500 lickety-split. Well, my trigger would never hit that. One of the things I noticed, though, is kind of interesting. Well, it doesn't really match now, but these things are, well, they were close. They're not close anymore. But when this thing hit 450, this was showing 450. I thought that was kind of interesting. So anyway, I set the set point. Oops. I guess the set point is supposed to be at 450 degrees. Or, I don't know, whatever high is. I hear the fan running all the time. That auger just doesn't seem to stop. I hear it tinkling constantly. Hear it? And it was already, you saw it was already at 520 degrees. It's still feeding it pellets. So I don't know. I'm lost. Don't really care. I just thought I'd show this to you just because I find it kind of interesting. And let's see what the meat probe says. 82F. Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it next to this thing. This grill is pretty hot. Listen to this thing. I have it set on 450. And this thing is still dumping pellets in there. I don't get it. I don't understand the logic behind that. Hear it? I mean, it's at 525 degrees Fahrenheit, and it's still feeding it pellets. And it's supposed to be 450. Anyway, yeah, 25 bucks, that's about right. Well, I don't know. I'm just an impatient person, but I've been sitting there 15 minutes waiting for this thing to hit 450. I don't think it's going to do it. I don't. And this is actually pretty close, but yeah, this is reading the chamber temp. It just keeps feeding the pellets. It just won't drop that 30 degrees. And I noticed that, I mean, this is too hot to put your hand on. It's got to be just frying that controller. wonder the thing doesn't work well. Yeah, this is and it's probably because that fan's not running. I don't know. Maybe it's just because it's a real, you know, real close to the, you know, the chamber, and we're running it really hot. I mean, 500 degrees is hot for a smoker. So, yeah, I'm just gonna, let's see, power. Oh, there we go. Good. Scared me for a sec. I didn't want it to just turn off because I want it to run the fan. I'm glad it does it for 15 minutes. Holy cow. This thing is hot as a firecracker. Yeah. Everything on here is super hot. Yeah, one thing about these doors you gotta watch out for is touching them. Yeah, that handle would have been better up here or something. Anyway, it's supposed to, you know, be like the commercial ovens. Oh, look at that. Okay, so we're gonna have a bunch of hash on our food. Yeah. You know, I don't. Is that pulsing the fan that does it? Well, we're gonna have to see what happens when we put the Muxol in here and run it, and see if it has the same kind of ash buildup like that. Because that's yeah, I don't know if I want all that on our food. Anyway, I'll probably check in one more time after it cools off. You can see, yeah, you can't put anything on top of this, and really you can't put anything on the sides and do anything inside the grill. Like, you know, if you have your barbecue sauce there, you can't really reach it. And it has a shelf in the front, but yeah, the way that door swings like that, I don't know. That's why it's nice to have the, you know, you just lift it up. You can put stuff on the sides and the front. Everything's out of the way. I like the look of it. That's what kind of drew me to it. And it is well built, and it hits 500 degrees. I'm telling you, my trigger never hit 500 degrees, and I could run it for 10 years and it would not hit 500 degrees. But I don't know, they might have some souped up auger in this thing, and who knows what. We'll take it apart. That might be fun to check out as well. Anyway, I'll check back in one more time. Well, cool down mode, shut down mode. Finished 15 minutes later. I opened the pellet hopper too, just because I wanted to hurry up and cool this thing off so I can go in. Yeah, I was looking at this thing while waiting for the 15-minute cool down, and yeah, this is it's okay. The grill feature is nice. I'll have to throw some burgers on it and see how it works. But yeah, that's not big enough. This area here is not big enough for a full-size brisket. And I don't know how you can make a barbecue grill that won't fit a brisket. So, yeah, in my opinion, this thing probably should have been, and they should have put this thing, I mean, it's only got a 3-inch auger anyway. They should have just put it in the front, right? And just made the grill, you know, that much longer. Then they could have had, I mean, as far as cooking burgers and searing stuff and grilling, I mean, that's fine. But that would have give you know, this much more room, which would have been perfect for a brisket, right? And then you'd have the little grilling area. But yeah, I was looking to see if there was any way to kind of, you know, extend this drip pan over this so we could, you know, like a simple fix, right? But yeah, without cutting a bunch of metal and everything, I didn't see a real simple fix for that. I guess what I was getting at is you could replace the drip pans, but that would be a huge pain in the butt every time you wanted to cook a brisket. I don't think that would be a good seller. So anyway, like I said, it is what it is. We'll keep looking at it and see if it's a go or no go. I'm very curious to stick the Muxol Pro barbecue controller on here and see if it does a little better than this thing. because that was a kind of a fail there. Anyway, I will talk to you guys later. Don't forget, you can support the Muxall Open IoT channel by donation using a credit card and PayPal, or by purchasing products at the Muxall store. Details and links are in the description under this video. Well, that's it for this video. If you liked the video, give it a big thumbs up, that helps, and hit the subscribe button, that really helps. If you have any questions or comments, post them in the comments under this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.